We are now investigating these horrific acts as an act of terrorism.
Right now at 5, more than workplace violence. The San Bernardino massacre could be the deadliest ISIS-inspired attack ever in the U.S. The news starts right now.
Live from the CBS Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is CBS 2 News at 5 p.m.
Good evening. I'm Pat Harvey.
And I'm Paul Majors. A day of dramatic developments in the San Bernardino massacre. For the first time, the FBI is referring to the mass shooting as a possible act of terrorism.
They say the female shooter, Tashfeen Malik, pledged allegiance to ISIS under a Facebook alias. And just as the attacks began, in fact, CBS 2's Dave Lopez is live at the command post with more on this disturbing revelation that shifted the rampage to a terror investigation. Dave?
Well, Pat, there certainly was a day of developments and some stunning announcements, although some of it, quite frankly, was not totally unexpected. Behind me, let me just set the scene, is the site of where this massacre occurred. It is still a very active crime scene. The FBI is reenacting. They're taking as much evidence as they can out of there. They're bringing in a lot of food trucks. They're bringing in fire trucks. I just saw 3 of them go by, so it's still very active. And the cars you see behind me belong to the people who lost their lives or else who survived this massacre. They still cannot get them out of the parking lot. As for the announcement, yes, there is now a connection to an act of terrorism. Again, not totally unexpected, but nonetheless chilling when you first heard it.
As of today, based on the information and the facts as we know them, we are now investigating these horrific acts as an act of terrorism.
And when asked, what specific evidence led to this conclusion?
There's a number of pieces of evidence that has essentially pushed us off the cliff to say we are now investigating this as an act of terrorism.
Without detailing it, the FBI has confirmed that Syed Farouk and his wife Tashfeen Malik had ties to ISIS. There
are some telephonic connections between these 2 individuals, at least one of these individuals, and other subjects of our investigation.
And when asked to comment on a confirmed CBS News report that Malik pledged her allegiance to ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi in a Facebook posting, he answered it this way.
I saw the same thing you did. We don't know what's there yet. We're still continuing to look into that.
So does this connection mean that this is the first ISIS attack on U.S. soil?
I think you're taking a leap. We're not there. What I am confirming is that we are currently investigating this case as an act of terrorism.
So did Farouk and his wife act alone? Were they taking orders? And if so, from whom?
We do not know that, but we are looking very carefully into that.
What about his overseas travels? And where was the source of his money coming from?
Remember, folks, we're in day 3. We're in day 3, and we're barely 2 full days into this. So we'll get there. We're not there yet.
Is there any evidence that Malik and Farouk had any accomplices?
There are no other suspects currently under arrest. It is possible there may be some in the future. We don't know.
And what about the person who purchased some of the guns that were used by Farouk and his wife in the massacre?
There is a person that we know of their location who purchased those weapons. The person is not under arrest at this point.
But is he in custody?
They're not under arrest at this point.
The FBI repeated what was said yesterday. Neither Farouk nor his wife were on anybody's watch list.
We didn't know. There's nothing that we've seen yet that would have triggered us to know.
Members of the public would like to start a memorial here. They've been bringing flowers, but it's a very difficult area to get close to the building. You see a couple of people that have left flowers off. Just off to my right, out of camera range, is a young girl. Come here, sweetheart. Come on over here. Let me just show you. She wants to give flowers here. Hello, why don't you come on over here? Why don't you look up and smile at the camera there, okay? If you want to leave those flowers, you can go ahead. Just be real careful and walk and don't trip, okay? All right. So people from the public want to come in here, but this is as close as they can get for now. This is still the building. It's okay. You can go now. It's all right. The building is still off limits, and it will be until they complete their full investigation. But I'm sure once they open it up, you will see a ton of people bringing their floral arrangements and candles to show their respect. For now, I'm live in San Bernardino. Pat and Paul, back to you.
All right. Thanks, Dave. A tough lesson for children, huh?